shattered for many Nigerians. They walked into the hospital and never walked out. So we ask, is the hospital a saving facility, or has it become a murder space? They said it was malaria. They said it was gas. Some said it was nothing serious. Mourners begin to relay different stories, just as families lament the loss of their loved ones. But who questions the doctor? By the time the truth came out, it was already late. In January 2026, renowned author Chimamanda Adichie accused Iraque multi-specialist hospital in Lagos of medical negligence after a 21-month-old son died following a routine procedure. A child went into the hospital to seek proper health care, but unfortunately, he never came out alive. The Lagos state government ordered an investigation, but for the family, no investigation can bring back a child. And this is not the first time. Human rights lawyer Chief Gani Faweyimi was treated for pneumonia until doctors abroad discovered cancer. Too late. The former Director General of NAFDAC, Professor Dora Akunyili, fought an illness that was reportedly misdiagnosed, and Nigeria lost one of its finest minds. Nollywood actress 𝗀𝐽𝐺 𝗏𝗏 was said to have survived only because she left Nigeria after receiving multiple wrong diagnoses at home. Nigerian fashion designer Toyin Lawani still suffers the consequences after a spine surgery implant in Nigeria. If they were not safe, then who is? In hospital wards across Nigeria, mothers are crying. Fathers are asking questions that will never be answered. Children are growing up without parents because a diagnosis was wrong. 61-year-old Caroline Idemba underwent a hysterectomy to relieve years of pain. Months later, she developed fatigue, pelvic pain, and abdominal bleeding. Doctors suspected infections. Tests came back inconclusive. Months passed and her condition worsened. Only after a biopsy was she diagnosed with stage 4 cervical cancer. She says, if they had caught it earlier, maybe things would have been different. Maybe I wouldn't be fighting for my life right now. 45-year-old Chioma Okafor, a mother of 3, visited a reputable Lagos hospital with persistent headaches and blurred vision. She was diagnosed with migraines. Months later, another hospital found a brain tumor. By then, it was inoperable. She did not survive. Adamu Musa, a farmer from Kano, watched his wife Aisha suffer severe stomach pains. Doctors treated her for ulcers. Months later, it was discovered she had appendicitis, but it had ruptured. She died during surgery. One family says their son complained of headache. They treated malaria. Behold, it was meningitis, but at the end, he gave up the ghost. Another family says their child, 𝗪𝗓𝗏, went in for surgery and came back with parts of his body missing. Till today, no clear answers. Doctors will tell you, oh, they are overwhelmed, and obviously, many of them are. But hear this clearly. Being tired must never cost a life. Being careless must never be excused, and silence must never replace justice. Today, Nigerians are afraid of hospitals. Some now stay at home and pray, seeking divine healing. Some self-medicate. Some wait until sickness becomes emergency, because they fear that asking for help may be what kills them. Hospitals are supposed to be sacred spaces, places where life is protected, not places where families learn how to mourn. So we ask again, and we ask for every mother, every father, every child. Is the hospital a saving facility or a murder space protected by silence? Until Nigeria fixes its healthcare system, until negligence is punished, until patients are heard, every hospital visit remains a gamble, and every Nigerian is at risk. Lydia Ajayi, Africa News 24 TV, and please don't forget to follow us on all our social media platforms and subscribe to our YouTube channel.
If you order both InDrive or Uber and you see this man, run for your life.
Immediately I entered this man's car, there was something hanging in front of his mirror. It looked so fetish and...
But this same man picked me up, May 3rd, and he did the same thing.
InDrive. I'm getting scared because like, oh my God, what if he's the one? You guys, please be careful.
This is the man who goes around in boats, InDrive and Uber, allegedly robbing women of their belongings, raping ladies in his ride, and pretending to offer safe transport while carrying knives, scissors, guns, and other weapons in his car.
This guy has pepper spray, he has gun, he has sharp weapons, whatever.
For months, young women have cried out, sharing stories of their painful encounters with this predator. They talk about how he allegedly threatens them, hurts them, and strips them not just of their possessions, but of their dignity.
And you are telling me I'm not with your phone. He's like, you want me to kill you here? He now brought out the knife. He was not holding the knife. He said he's going to stab me to death. Started diverting to another route. That do I have condom inside my bag? Look at what he was asking me. I said I don't have condom inside my bag. He now searched my bag. That he's going to send my body in parts. That he already has people that will buy my body.
Despite these cries and warnings, he is still on the road. He is still picking up unsuspecting women and still moving through Uber, Bolt, and InDrive like a hunter, waiting for his next victim. And the most heartbreaking question remains, why is a man like this still allowed to drive? Why has no company taken firm action to protect the very people they promise safety to?
Uber are still allowing this man to drive after he has victimized a lot of girls. Every day they're going to complain about our riders. Every day.
So why would Uber and Bolt and InDrive allow a known criminal walk with them?
Will you be employing a highway robber to be on the highway picking people?
Every day that passes without justice is another day of risk for countless women. What use is technology if it cannot protect the vulnerable? What good is business when it ignores the cries of the broken? To the companies, the question is simple. How many more women must be hurt before you act? How many more tears must fall before you listen?
Please, Nigerian police, come to our help.
Like the government should look into it. Police, they should look into it. And even close to like 8 or more were saying, oh, I've inside this man's car before, or I'm a victim, or I almost got kidnapped. What?
The worst part of this issue is that it has been reported to the police, but police did nothing about it.
To every reader, this is not just a story. This is a call to wake up, a call to demand safety, a call to make sure that no man, no matter how cunning, is allowed to use the will as a weapon against women again. Because as long as this man is allowed to drive, every woman on the road is in danger.
The government is not doing anything. Somebody should do something about this guy.
If you order both InDrive or Uber and you see this man, run for your life.
Immediately I entered this man's car, there was something hanging in front of his mirror. It looked so fetish and...
But this same man picked me up, May 3rd, and he...
Good afternoon and thank you for keeping it here on Africa News 24 TV, your trusted destination for breaking stories and in-depth updates from across the continent and the world. I'm Mary Adam, here to bring you the top stories in politics, sports and beyond. The former Minister of Justice and Attorney General of the Federation, Abubakar Malami, is facing extended detention after the Department of State Services intensified its investigation into allegations of terrorism financing, following his recent transfer from 𝗹𝐶C custody. Abubakar Malami was arrested by DSS operatives on Monday, January 19, shortly after securing bail in a separate case handled by the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission. His detention is linked to terrorism financing allegations and the reported discovery of arms and ammunition at his country home in Benin-Kebbi in Kebbi State. The governor of Lagos State, Babajide Sanwo-Olu, has approved the recruitment of 150 additional officers into the Lagos State Fire and Rescue Service to boost emergency response and public safety across the state. The LSFRS Controller General, Margaret Adeshoye, disclosed this in a statement issued by the agency's Public Affairs Officer, 𝗵𝗏 on Tuesday, January 20. Adeshoye, while flagging off the LSFRS Squad 23 training exercise in Ikeja, said the recruitment reflects the administration's commitment to a resilient and well-equipped fire and rescue service. The LSFRS board said the government remains resolute in its determination to continually invest in human capacity development, modern infrastructure, and operational equipment to ensure the safety of lives, property, and the environment across Lagos. Nigeria's exports to the Economic Community of West African states have declined by 13% following the exit of Sahel states, Mali, Burkina Faso, and Niger from the regional bloc. The exit, which took effect after a one-year notice period, has disrupted trade relations and impacted Nigeria's export sales in the region. The Manufacturers Association of Nigeria has expressed concerns that the exit will lead to low export sales and reduced foreign exchange revenue generation for Nigeria, according to 𝗂𝐷𝗵𝐴𝑟𝑒𝑤𝑎 chairman of Man Export Promotion Group. The exit will restrict market access due to technical barriers to trade imposed by the departing countries. Nigeria's trade with ECOWAS countries was already facing challenges, including poor infrastructure, currency differences, and high cost of obtaining trade permits. The exit of the Sahel states is expected to exacerbate these challenges, leading to increased informal trade and smuggling along their borders. The ECOWAS bloc has lost 15% of its GDP and 16% of its population due to the departures of Mali, Burkina Faso, and Niger. States hosting internally displaced persons in Nigeria are set to benefit from a $12 million World Bank loan, part of a larger $300 million financing package approved for the Solutions for the Internally Displaced and Host Communities project. The loan aims to enhance access to essential services and economic opportunities for IDPs and host communities in northern Nigeria, where over 3.5 million people have been displaced due to conflict and insecurity. The project will focus on developing climate-resilient infrastructure, promoting social cohesion, and supporting livelihoods. The Federal Executive Council has approved the loan, which will be implemented through a coordinated, community-driven approach involving federal, state, and local governments with international partners' support. The World Bank Country Director for Nigeria, 𝗵𝗏, emphasized that the project will help address development challenges associated with protracted displacement, ensuring IDPs and host communities transition from dependency to self-reliance and resilience. A federal high court in Abuja has dismissed a suit filed by former People's Democratic Party National Secretary Samuel seeking recognition as the party's scribe. The suit was dismissed on Tuesday, January 20, after Anyanwu's lawyer 𝐿𝐿𝐷𝗀𝐻 applied to withdraw it, citing that his client's tenure as PDP secretary had expired in December 2025. Justice Mohammed Umar, who presided over the case, ruled that since issues had been joined, he would dismiss the matter, adding that the delay was not the fault of any party and therefore awarded no cost. 𝗀𝐻𝐻 had originally sued Independent National Electoral Commission and former PDP acting national chairman Umar Damagum, seeking an order restraining INEC from accepting correspondence from the PDP not signed by him. However, with his tenure expired, his lawyer deemed it improper to continue the case. The PDP leadership dispute began when 𝗀𝐻𝐻 vacated his role to contest the 2023 Imo governorship election, which he lost, leading to internal conflict within the party. A trader at Lagos Computer Village has lamented losing goods worth 150 million naira to a fire that ravaged a commercial building in the area. The fire, which broke out around 1:55 a.m. on Tuesday, destroyed the entire upper floor of the one-story building, housing dealers in computers and accessories. According to eyewitnesses, the fire was caused by an electric surge, and the high volume of combustible materials contributed to its rapid spread. One firefighter sustained minor injuries during the operations, but no fatalities were recorded. The Lagos State Emergency Management Agency, LASEMA, responded promptly, deploying emergency responders to contain the fire and prevent it from spreading to adjacent buildings. LASEMA has launched an investigation into the cause of the fire and urged operators of commercial facilities to adhere to fire safety protocols. Five soldiers and one police officer were killed in an ambush by militants in Zamfara State, northwestern Nigeria on Monday. The troops were responding to an attack on a village when they were ambushed along the 𝗵𝗂𝗵𝗂 road. The military confirmed the incident, stating that the ambush was part of a series of coordinated offensive operations conducted by Sector 2 𝗵𝗡FY, the 𝗴𝗵FY Mobile Strike Team, and the DIA Tactical Support Team from January 17 to 19, targeting terrorist hideouts in 𝗵𝗏 and Anka areas. The ambush resulted in the deaths of 5 soldiers and 1 police officer, while several others sustained injuries. The military also reported that 3 suspects were arrested and 4 terrorists were neutralized during the operation. The theater commander has condoled with the Sector 2 commander over the loss of personnel and commended the troops for their courage, sacrifice, and professionalism. The military assured the public that the situation is under control and urged citizens to support security efforts by providing timely and credible information. This news, the federal government of Nigeria has doubled its domestic borrowing target for January 2026 to 900 billion naira, according to the Debt Management Office. This move aims to finance budget needs and support the domestic fixed income market. The DMO will auction 3 federal government of Nigeria bonds on January 26, 2026, with settlements on January 28, 2026. Each bond unit costs 1,000 naira, with a minimum subscription of 50 million naira. Interest is paid semi-annually and principal is repaid at maturity. Minister of Finance 𝗚𝗚 emphasized the government's focus on revenue generation and domestic resource mobilization to reduce borrowing dependence. Nigerians shelled out a whopping 1.54 trillion naira on beer and other non-alcoholic beverages in the first 9 months of 2025, according to an analysis of major brewers' financial statements. The combined revenue of Nigerian Breweries PLC, International Breweries PLC, and the Champions Breweries PLC highlights the resilience of Nigeria's beer market, driven by strong brand loyalty and extensive distribution networks despite rising production costs and economic pressures. Nigerian Breweries plc led the pack with 1.5 trillion naira in net revenue, followed by International Breweries plc with 472.57 billion naira and Champions Breweries plc with 21.44 billion naira. Analysts note a gradual shift in consumer spending patterns, with some reducing beer consumptions, prompting breweries to adjust strategies. On the foreign scene, South Korea's President Lee Jae-yong has warned that North Korea's nuclear output poses a global danger, stating that the country is producing enough nuclear materials annually for up to 20 weapons. Lee made this remark at a New Year's press conference, highlighting the North's continued improvement of its long-range ballistic missiles technology aimed at striking the U.S. mainland. At some point, North Korea will have secured the nuclear arsenal it believes it needs to sustain the regime, along with ICBM capabilities capable of threatening not only the United States, but the wider world, Lee said. He added that once North Korea has excess nuclear material, it could be exported, posing a global threat. North Korea has conducted 6 nuclear tests since 2006, with its most recent test in 2017. The country's nuclear program is estimated to have produced around 50 nuclear warheads, with the capacity to produce up to 90 warheads. South Korea's military has been put on high alert, with plans to conduct preemptive and retaliatory strikes against North Korea if necessary. United States President Donald Trump's plane was forced to return to an air base on Tuesday night due to a minor electrical issue shortly after departing for Switzerland. White House Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt said Air Force One returned to Joint Base Andrews out of an abundance of caution, adding that it landed shortly after 11 p.m. Journalists traveling with Trump reported that lights in the cabin went out briefly after takeoff. Trump and his entourage will switch to another plane and continue the trip to the World Economic Forum in Davos, where the president was expected to face off with European leaders over a bid to seize Greenland. With its classic blue and white livery, Air Force One is arguably the world's most iconic plane and an instantly recognizable symbol of the U.S. presidency. Welcome to sports. Nigerian skeleton racer Simidele Adiagbo is back on the ice, competing in the 𝗹𝗶𝗿 World Cup with renewed vigor after overcoming a serious medical setback. The 39-year-old Olympian, widely regarded as Africa's first female skeleton racer, expressed her excitement at returning to top-level competition. Adiagbo's journey to the World Cup has been marked by resilience and determination. She suffered a serious injury in 2021, which disrupted her 2025 season, but has made a remarkable comeback, recording top 10 finishes at Altenburg and reaffirming her place among the sport's elite. She's a trailblazer, having become the first African woman to compete in Olympic skeleton in 2018 and winning gold in the monobob event at the 2022 Euro Cup. The Africa Cup of Nations tournament may have come and gone, but it's still generating controversy and debate. African News 24 TV correspondent Edith Lawrence spoke with some enthusiasts in this next report.
AFCON 2025 has just wrapped up in Rabat, and what should have been a moment of celebration for African football has turned into one of its most controversial moments. A final that erupted in debate, protest, a walk-off by Senegal, and confusion that is now spilling debate across the continent. Today, African News 24 TV is out to ask football lovers to get their take and know how they feel about the competition. Reactions have continued to pour in following the controversial AFCON final between Senegal and host nation Morocco. Many Nigerians believe Morocco benefited from questionable decisions, describing the match as unfair, while some fans say Senegal's brief walk-off was an emotional response.
I think it was good that Senegal won, because clearly the Moroccans were uncouth and corrupt, to say the least. So, yeah, I think that the major part of Africans were behind Senegal. Of course, the Nigerians. The coordination on the part of the Moroccans was less than appealing. It was shambolic, to say the least.
I watched the final, and the way everything happened was just so fast, because I guess it was around the 90-something minutes. Yeah, it was around like 90 plus 20 minutes. Senegal scored a goal, but they cancelled it. Then after, they gave Morocco a penalty that was not even worthy of it.
From the beginning of the game, it was so obvious that the football match was actually designed to favor the Moroccans.
It's football, but I'm so glad at the end of the day, Senegalese won, because the Moroccans they are kind of trying to rob everybody. The same thing they did to Nigeria.
But beyond the matchday drama, CAF's decision is another talking point, and it's about the decision to award Morocco the Fair Play Award. While some feel the hosts deserve it, others strongly disagree, questioning whether the move was an attempt to abuse the host nation or influenced by other interests.
Giving them the fair play was not good, and I guess they gave them because it was. I guess they gave them because they were the host country.
I do not agree with the Fair Play Award that was issued to, or rather awarded to, the Moroccans. No.
Across the continent, there is a shared call for CAF and AFCON officials to prioritize fairness, transparency, and consistent officiating in future tournaments. Many argued the situation was poorly handled, while a few said judgment should be reserved as investigations are still ongoing.
The way the Ghanaian referee officiated the match is like, if you look at it, you will know that he wanted Morocco to win it, but it didn't go according to their plan. So I get Africa needs to do more.
There was something particularly sinister about the conduct of the referees this year, the just concluded tournament. The refereeing in the match between Nigeria and Morocco was clearly skewed.
There is a room to get better, and I feel every referee that actually watched the game, including the referee that officiated the match, also saw where, okay, there were mistakes and there is a room for us to get better.
Despite the controversy, there is a widespread joy over Senegal's victory. AFCON 2025 may be over, but the conversations around fairness in African football are far from finished. To many fans across Africa, AFCON 2025 won't be remembered for just football, but for controversy, debate, and a call for greater fairness in the game. The debate has started, and it appears as Morocco against the rest of the continent. If this should be addressed and peaceful resolution proposed, it is an assignment that can only be handled by CAF. Edith Lawrence, African News 24 TV.
Welcome to entertainment. Nigerian chef 𝗲𝗏𝗍 has expressed her excitement and gratitude after learning she has been awarded a third Guinness World Record. 𝗏𝗏𝗍, who broke the record for the largest serving of Nigerian-style jollof rice, discovered she has also set records for the largest serving of rice overall and accumulated a total of 3 Guinness World Records. Woke up a 3-time Guinness World Records holder, and I'm still trying to wrap my head around it, 𝗏𝗏𝗍 wrote on social media. She credited her success to her team, saying this is our win, and thanked her partner 𝗴𝗏𝗏 for their collaboration. 𝗏𝐻𝑇's record-breaking achievement has sparked widespread congratulations from fans and well-wishers. Nollywood actress Sarah Martins has been hospitalized after collapsing due to extreme exhaustion. The actress, who is also an entrepreneur, revealed on Instagram that she woke up feeling lifeless and unable to feel parts of her body, but still pushed herself to work. Martins has been working non-stop throughout December, ignoring her own well-being and neglecting rest, even when her staff were on holiday. She slumped while conducting inventory at one of her stores and was rushed to the hospital, where she underwent over 32 medical tests, including checks for cancer, fibroid, liver and kidney issues, malaria and typhoid, all of which came back negative. Doctors have advised her to take complete bed rest due to extreme exhaustion. Martin expressed gratitude for her recovery, attributing it to God's protection, and acknowledged the need to prioritize her health. That's all for now. Stay tuned for more updates on the stories and others on our website at africannews24.ng. Follow us on all our social media platforms to stay informed and ahead. I'm Mary Adams. See you at 3 p.m. Good afternoon.